it whenever I can.
Because you presumably thought, oh, yippee, I'm off to tropical locations.
I never think yippee anything. I don't know. Yeah, I used to, but no, I didn't think yippee. But no.
Okay. But there is a new thing in this one for both of you: the underwater sequence.
Yeah.
That looked hard.
Oh dear.
That was pretty difficult. It was a really technical, probably about a week at Pinewood, because we shot the film here in London, and it was all underwater. It's a sequence where this sphere falls off a cliff, and she and another actor by the name of Justice are stuck inside of the sphere, and I'm on the outside of the sphere trying to rescue them as it sinks, and
Water is filling up the gyrosphere, and at one point we're completely submerged in water, and...
Yeah, we spent, what, I don't know, a week or 8 days or 9 days we spent in water.
Yeah.
And it was, boy, I'll tell you, they put a lot of chlorine in the water because you've got a crew of 85 people just pissing this pool. No one ever got it. No. People, we didn't have time for people to pee.
So you knew people were peeing?
Oh, I'm certain of it.
Did a look come across their faces?
Huh?
People would suddenly just...
That was good pee face.
That's a good...
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that again.
You guys give away.
She just made me tinkle a little bit.
Just mid-sentence.
Yeah, I tinkled a little bit when you...
Well, I mean, you pee. You're not supposed to pee in the pool, but no one got out, and I know because I had to be underwater with my eyes open, of course, as if I could see with my eyes open underwater.
Chris, did you pee?
I actually shit myself. Time is money on a movie like this.
Whereas you were in the water.
Well, I was trapped in this gyrosphere, right?
In your defense.
In my defense. I just felt this freedom as I was working, you know what I mean? Like, I just was, like, really present.
You didn't pee. Claire peed.
Yes, there it is. Claire was panicked.
Yeah. She's such a good actress.
Scared for her life.
Yeah.
Every time you've said that for the last, like, 7 months, I'm like...
Wasn't my pee.
I'm just so deeply ashamed.
Oh. I forgive you. It's okay.
But I really made an effort to stay as dehydrated as possible.
Yes.
The entire time.
Now, we've got another clip. This is the two of you, and you are in some dino danger.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything you want. Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's got everything.
Jeff Goldblum, you would think you are so distinctive looking. You know, you see you and you kind of, that is Jeff Goldblum, nobody else. And yet, so many men think they look like you.
Well,
Particularly if they wear glasses. If they wear glasses, they're on it.
I guess. A lot of people come up to me, and in fact, and say, oh, my whole life I've been told I look exactly like you.
That's so weird, isn't it?
It's a little bit, but, and it's a wide range of looking people, I must say. But I try to be diplomatic. I always say the same thing. Well, that's flattering to me, says I.
Nice.
I wish I looked like you.
No, and he's not making up because people post it all the time. There's a guy...
Well, there you go.
That's you. I mean, in fairness, he does look a little like you.
Flattering to me. Flattering to me.
And then there's this guy, he posted this one. There he goes.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Now, I really could. That guy looks like some kind of, like, 50s heartthrob.
Hey.
He looks fantastic.
But look at you.
Looks like
look at you.
Well.
Check that out.
Yeah.
And, see, this one, he's a bit like a man in glasses.
Wait a minute. Hey, isn't that a young picture of Allen Ginsberg?
Is it?
I think that's a young picture of Allen Ginsberg.
He's been obsessed by you for years.
The guy... Well, look him up. He wrote a famous poem called Howl. I'll bet you two could recite it and go.
No, but I do have the...
Actually, weirdly, when we announced that you were coming on the show, Jeff, a lady emailed us and said, "Oh, we're coming to the show," and my husband is told all the time that he looks like you. So let's have a look at him. Where is Andy? Where's Andy now? There's Andy. Oh, now. Oh, actually, that isn't bad.
Very. Should I go over and see, you know, side by side?
Oh, do a side by side. Yeah, let's go see a side by side.
Andy, here you go. Andy, come here, Andy.
Okay.
Take a picture together.
Okay, so if you look towards me, there's a camera behind me, and it will take a picture of you. Okay.
Jurassic Park.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing him. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I'm coming back. Ow.
Andy's wife has got to look at you. Look, oh, look, an upgrade.
He looked very suave.
Now, talking of looks, ladies and gentlemen, Bryce, one of our good friends on the show, Jessica Chastain.
Yes.
She's talked about people thinking she's you, and it's happened to you.
And vice versa.
And in fairness, you do look quite alike. Here's Jessica. There's you. That's
I mean, it is what Jeff said, but it's like really, really, really true. Like, it's very flattering to me. Like, she's unbelievable.
But what I didn't understand was that it was happening before either of you were famous.
Yes. So I went to school in New York. I went to NYU, and Jess went to school in New York as well. She went to Juilliard, and there were many times, I remember this distinctly, there were many times, first time it happened, I went into a Starbucks, and where people would mistake me for someone named Jess. And so I went into a Starbucks, and I went up to the cashier, and I went to order something, and he was like, "No, Jess, your drink's over there." And I was like, "Oh, no, I haven't ordered yet." And he's like, "Pfft. Like, what are you
That's so
trying
Jess.
to, like,
Well,
you're
so
just
Jess.
toying with me." And I just remember being kind of like, it was like a little unnerving because he was so certain that we were the same person. And then a lot of friends like later in years to come would say, "Oh my gosh, there's this woman named Jessica Chastain, and you guys are, you know, you could totally be sisters." And yeah.
And then what's weird is it happens to you as well, Tandy.
Oh, a lot.
Who's your lookalike?
Zoe Saldana.
And in fairness, here's a picture. I mean, it is, you know, it's... Even you can see it.
I know, well, it happens when people to my face come and talk to me. People who I've known, like, for example, bless her heart, Victoria Beckham, who I've met a few times, OK? And we're in Soul Cycle in LA, and we're talking away, and this close, Jeff, OK? And she's, you know, she made a comment about, "Oh, it's so great that you're coming to Soul Cycle, even though you're, you know, pregnant." And I said, "Oh, no, I had the baby, actually, just a few months ago," thinking, "Oh, God, I obviously look rubbish." And then after a few more minutes of chatting, I realised that she thought I was somebody else. And I said, "Vic, do you think that I'm Zoe Saldana?" And she was absolutely mortified. And, you know, it's all right, because obviously Zoe Saldana is an absolute rare beauty.
Yeah.
And, you know, but up close, come on.
Come on.
And I'm English.
Next time you should tell somebody that you're getting into character.
That's
like
good.
you're like a method actor and you're working on your British accent. Ask them if they think that your British accent is good.
Is it good? I mean, Zoe and I have actually become sort of friendly over the last couple of years. So I'm thinking, you know, if ever I'm in LA and I just don't feel like going into work the next day, I'll just give her a ring. Zoe, are you free? Go on in. No one's going to know. Because really...
Same with me and Andy.
Totally. We should use this to our advantage.
Jurassic World 3, it's Andy. He's all over it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tana Newton, currently starring in Season 2 of Westworld. It's Mondays at 9 on Sky Bandicam. Just in case people have, I don't know, come from another planet, can you just briefly explain the premise of Westworld?
The premise of Westworld. OK, so Westworld is set maybe between 50 and 80 years into the future, and it's about a theme park which costs a huge amount to go to. But basically, when you get there, it's populated by robots who are completely human-like. And it's sort of, you know, the cowboys and the madam in the saloon and the bevy of gorgeous prostitutes. And basically, when you're there for a stag weekend or whatever you want, you can do whatever you want with these robots. And they are designed to be your, you know, to service your dreams.
And so the idea is now that there's been a glitch and...
Almighty glitch in Westworld.
Yes.
And the robots have come to realise that they're not human. At the end of season 1, Maeve, my character, who was the madam of the saloon, and realised that in another storyline she was actually a mother. And she feels this tremendous need to be with this daughter that she only dreams about. And she decides that she wants to be with her child at the end of season 1, even though she wants to escape this awful place that lies to her and tells her that she's a mother when she isn't really. But she comes to realise that she wants to fulfil this reality for her, that she... you know, to find her daughter and to go back into Westworld.
Well, we've got a clip. Now, this is from an episode that just aired, and it's where you stumble into Shogun World, World, and you're discovering you have a new ability. We'll talk about it after this.
私には娘がいる。その例えばさぞ喜ぶだろう。娘はどこに？新世界そなたが耳にした。私が話しよう。そなたと桜をもしも新世界にまことがある。そなたがこの世で生きた人生は皆偽り。No, no, no.
I only know this because I was told this. But that Japanese, it isn't just regular Japanese.
No, it's not. It's traditional Japanese, which is so incredibly difficult to learn.
But I imagine regular Japanese is quite hard.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I didn't realise that I was being taught traditional Japanese until actors that came in to shoot Shogun World who spoke modern Japanese were like, oh my God, how are you doing this? Because even for them it was quite tricky. But yeah, it was amazing.
And can you speak it a bit now?
I can, yeah, I can actually. I can.
I can't think of what I'd like you to say.
Ketsumatsu o hanashimashou ka. Dewa, katana o same hanashimau ka.
Chris is going, go.
Did you just ask me on a date? Okay. How do I say okay in traditional Japanese? Let me respect.
You could just say yes, which is hi.
Hi. Cool. No, what did you really say?
I said, let's lay down our swords and have a dignified conversation. Oh. Which is more traditional.
We kind of said that backstage, didn't we? Yeah, we said, hey, come on, let's just do it.
That was really...
Jeff, now, can you speak any Japanese? Because you were just in Japan, I think.
Just came from Japan a couple of days ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, doing publicity for Isle of Dogs, the Wes Anderson.
Oh,
love that film. Well, how did this happen, Jeff?
Oh, that's funny. Everybody was so nice and wonderful there, very sweet and beautiful. They had at the premiere, we had a premiere, and Wes Anderson was there. A couple of sumo wrestlers came to add color and a ritual something or other.
Sure thing.
And I took a funny picture with them.
Yeah.
before they squished you.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Now, in Westworld, and, you know, a lot of people I'm sure have talked to you about the amount of nudity in Westworld. But I think what's interesting is it's your very practical reason for saying no to a merkin.
I did say no to my merkin.
Yes.
Well, number one, to be honest, one of the reasons why they provided them is because a lot of women do things to alter what's going on down there.
Yeah.
So I didn't need the merkin because I don't alter anything.
Good to know.
All 70s bush. And, obviously, it was a period piece. Well, you couldn't have any alterations down there. All right? You know, because they weren't doing that back in, you know, Chris, back in those days.
They weren't doing what?
altering things.
In Westworld. You know, in
back
saloons.
Back in, you know, that time, the prairie, the wide open prairie, they weren't waxing and stripping and plucking and, you know,
The guys on their stag do's would have complained.
They would have done it.
Yeah.
Been like, what are you doing down there?
This is so historically inaccurate.
It's so... Anyway.
I want my money back.
I also said no because it took, you know, it was another like 45 minutes to get that thing glued on, and I wanted to go home to my 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to spend time doing that.
Yeah.
Is there? I know that it's probably has something to do with historical accuracy, but I think that also isn't there like a you guys? I don't. You're not as prudish as we are in the States, but there's something about a rating too, right? Like for a rated R thing, like I remember I've heard there's like instances where they have to put merkins on women who would get a bikini wax because it's a rating thing. Like you can see a bush, but if you see one with no bush, then it's like somehow more salacious and can't pass the rating thing.
Okay.
I'm pro-bush, okay? I love
I'm glad that you got it covered.
Yeah, I'm glad we established.
Yeah. What's weird is I brought it up because I was because you were rushing home. You were rushing home to your baby.
Yes.
So you've got a baby, but is it your daughter is now in movies?
I know. We were all at Blinken Pinewood. While we were there, I was shooting Star Wars with your papa, who is the loveliest man. And you were shooting Jurassic World, and Tim Burton was shooting Dumbo, and my daughter is one of the leads in his new film, Dumbo. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like really an accident. We just thought she'd maybe have a couple of days here and there, kids part, and she's in it the whole way through. So I would meet her for lunch. You know, her in her costume, me in my costume. She's 12 years old. Oh my God, it was adorable. Me dressed, you know, in my Val costume, you know, dun, 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 dun. And her in her, Tim Burton-esque. It's exquisite.
Does it freak you out that your 12-year-old daughter is kind of entering this world?
No, because she's got me. Doesn't freak me out one bit. So you got to get past me.
And because in the Howard family, obviously your dad, Ron Howard, but there's a tradition that you appear.
Yes.
You've appeared. How many of his films have you appeared in?
Oh gosh, I mean, not. I don't know the number. I mean, it starts when you're 7 years old.
But no, younger than that. We've got a picture of you on Cocoon.
Oh, well, that's just me on the movie set.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we were just always on movie sets. That's just like, that's where we were raised, and that's where we were comfortable. And, and we had to wait until we were 7 years old in order to, like, be in the movie. Like, it just as, like, an extra, you know.
So is Parenthood your first one?
Yes, that, I was 7, and I was so excited.
Well,
and I was an all-night
really
shoot for
changed
3 nights.
at all. No. More or less the same. You picked a hairstyle, you've gone with it. This will do me for life. Jeff, you've got 2 sons. I think we've got a picture of you here just after you gave birth.
No, that's Charlie. He's now almost 3. He's 2.5, and yeah, that's us.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's so sweet.
We have now 2. We have River Joe, who's 1, and he's 2.5.
And is it Charlie who's like a sort of little mini-me?
Well, but, yeah, a little bit. A little bit. You know, you say things, and then they repeat them. He says a couple of things that I say. My dad, and this is probably a regionalism, used to say asses and elbows, meaning we'd be in the kitchen washing pots and pans, and if I participated, I'd be kind of, and he'd come on, let's really get in there, asses and elbows, asses and elbows. So now, Charlie, I'm often in charge of seeing him brush his teeth and teaching him. That takes a while. So he kind of, you know, does a little bit of this, and I go, come on, asses and elbows, asses and elbows, and he says it's fun to hear him say asses and elbows. And then the other day, I heard him say, I guess I said it. He said, oh, yeah, I said, you like those pancakes? Yeah, never in my whole life have I had pancakes What'd you say? Never my whole life. Yes, your young life, a long life. 2.5.
In over 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So cute.
But now, Chris, your son seems remarkably unimpressed by your career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really couldn't care less.
But isn't it anything like he doesn't believe you're the real deal?
Yeah, he's now, you know, he'll say he's 5 3/4, and he went to Universal the other day, Universal Studios in LA, theme park, had a good time, and came back and he said, "Hey, Dad, guess what? Today, I saw the real Owen." Because like there's this guy at Universal who dresses up like my character from the movie, and the dinosaurs come out, and he's like, does this thing, and the kids, he's like,
That's so
"No,
funny."
I saw the real one, Dad." So I was like, well, all right, yeah, you can.
Well, but he's putting the work in. He's there every day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah.
You know, all year, he's there.
It actually is true. Yeah.
But also, you obviously, you know, you have your parenting rules and all that. But apparently, the parenting rules change if you go fishing.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I have a farm up in Washington State, and on this farm is a lake, and it's we fish a lot for bass on this lake, my son and I. And I had this rule with my old man, and I have it with my son, which is when you're fishing, you can swear. You can just swear when you're fishing. It's just the guys. Go ahead and let loose. And so we're out fishing. He catches a fish, and I'm trying to get him to take a picture with the fish before we let it go. And it flops out of his hands, and these bass have these little spines on their back. And the fin pokes him in the hand, falls in the water. He starts to cry. And he's like, "Oh," and I said, "Hey, buddy, are you all right? You all right?" He said, "Oh, Dad, I'm about to swear." I said, "Hey, you know the rules." And he goes, that bass is stupid." Well, you know, I think we say, "Hey, don't say call someone stupid. That's bad. You shouldn't say that." And he continues to cry. I said, "Did you feel better?" He said, "A little bit stupid bass." And I was like, all right, buddy, yeah, you know, now's the time, get it out." And he goes, "That stupid bass is a." I'm like, "Oh. All right." It was a little hard not to laugh at that one.
Very good.
Why don't we stick to stupid?
Hey, it's time for music. This man was lead singer.
It's so good. I'm incredibly proud of it. I'm really, really proud of it.
I've heard it. It's fantastic. And also, what's lovely is that you look so happy up there performing.
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
It's such a joy to be I don't know, performing again. I really, really miss performing.
And I should also thank you very much. You sent me a copy of your memoir, Boys Keep Swinging.
Yes.
Which I enjoyed so much.
Thank you very much.
It's terrific, because they're hard to do, those things, and it was a really good one. It's
Thank
excellent.
you. Yeah. It's pretty, you know, I think it's kind of juicy and fun. And
There's a lot of juice in it. Yeah.
The album's almost like a memoir in itself, isn't it? It sounds
kind of
like...
the last couple years. The book goes up to 2006. And the album is very much about, I moved to New Orleans 3 years ago and split my time between New Orleans and LA. So it's really about that sort of transition and, yeah, being in a brand new city and yeah. So it's very autobiographical.
I'm such a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel a bit trembly. I loved Scissor Sisters so much. It really defined a time in my life. So I'm very, very honoured.
That's the great thing about music is it makes memories. And my goal always has been to make it accessible to as many people as possible and to make people feel good and to just like bring some joy into the world.
And you're going to bring more joy to Britain because you're doing a tour here, right?
But it's just some shows. We're just starting playing shows in August, so tickets go on sale today.
Okay,
yeah.
So you can pre-order the album. It's a very busy day. Pre-order the album, then get that credit card, and you can buy tickets and go to see you gigging around the country.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and
Thank
doing
you
all
for
that live
having
and everything. It was terrific. Jake, cheers, everybody. Tour, album, book, so busy. Right, that is nearly it. Before we go, time for a visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello. Hi.
Hello.
You're on. You're on. Who are you?
Jodie.
Jodie, lovely. And what do you do, Jodie?
I work in e-commerce.
In e-commerce?
Yeah.
I'm fascinating. Okay, off you go with your story.
So, when I was in university, we went on a typical night out, and my friend brought home a guy, and the next morning we all had a cup of tea, like gossip about the night, and something wasn't right about the tea. So then my friend went to go look in the kettle, and inside the kettle was the used condom.
The fact you could taste it.
Yeah, I know. I like that, Jeff. Yeah. Something wasn't right about the tea. Yeah. You thought your water sequence was bad, I tell you. Should we try another one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
My name's Denise.
Denise, and where are you from?
I'm from New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Home of the red chair story. And are you travelling, Denise? Do you live here?
No, I live in London.
Oh, right. What do you do here?
I'm an oncology nurse.
An oncology nurse. Well done, you. Okay, off you go with your story.
So many years ago, I was a pharmaceutical rep and I was living in Auckland and I had a new company car. However, it wouldn't unlock when it was raining. And anyhow, a few weeks later...
A new company car.
No, it was a hand-me-down company car, but it had problem opening on rainy days. So a few weeks later, we had a big conference in Auckland City, and at the end of the evening, I had to take my boss and 2 Australian reps back to their hotel. And my car was parked outside, and we got to the car, and it was pouring with rain, and we went to open the car, and the car wouldn't unlock. And I said to my boss, I said, oh, my husband said it's water getting into the magnetics of the lock, won't let the lock disengage. And my boss was a real problem solver. So he got down on his knees and he started sucking the lock on my car. And we're standing there in the pouring rain and he's down on his knees sucking the lock. And I had this, oh my God, moment. And I walked to the back of the car and I looked at the licence plate and it wasn't my car. And it was like, do I tell her? Or do I let him continue sucking the lock and call a cab? Anyhow, he's sucking away and I tapped him on the shoulder and I went, oh, I'm really sorry, but this isn't my car. My car is parked down here. So we get to my car. Of course, it opens beautifully. And we all hop in the car and drive silently to the hotel. No one says a word. But the word got out because for months afterwards in the company, he'd get all these messages. Hello, hello, is that the lock sucker?
You can walk, you can walk. Well done, everyone. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go in that red chair, you can contact us via our website at this very address. Listen, that is it for tonight. Please a huge thank you to all my guests. Jake Shears, everybody.